Under the both the communism and also a legalistic Christianity, it's just not safe to be you. You can't ask honest questions because you don't know how the authority will interpret it. You can't risk sharing personal. In fact, when we did the seminary in the second half of the trip, there were pastors and other Christian leaders there who were learning to do counseling and discipleship. And there we asked them to share personally in small groups their history and so on. That's scary for a lot of people because they've been trained. You don't share. You just put on this good face, this good front. Everything's great, and yet you die inside. And so. So much, it's not just Bulgaria, so much in Christianity, period, even in the U.S., it's not safe to be really you. And but I saw for Bulgaria, because they're learning their acceptances in Christ, they're learning their identity, they're learning their performance doesn't determine who they are. And it begins to be okay to not have it all together. It's okay, not fun, to fail, but you realize that's not my identity. And so I could see that for them coming alive. And then in the seminary as well, lots of fear of losing salvation, got to perform to keep it, and just to realize, and we've been twice now to the seminary, and seeing the second time a more open dialogue. My goal wasn't to go and twist their arms to believe my theology. My goal was to share Christ with them and to share what he has done, to share how he has made us acceptable. And so even those who felt that you could lose your salvation, I'm not saying they changed their theology, but all of a sudden it just became safer for God, or for them with God. God's not so threatening. God's not so demanding. He demands perfection, but he gives us Christ's perfection in his righteousness. And all of a sudden now I can boldly come to the throne of grace. I can experience him without thinking I've got to have it all together. He's just safe because he's safe, not because I did it right, because he's safe. And so it just becomes easier for them. And that's just contrary to the culture in a lot of ways there. So it's been encouraging. And then with the seminary, if we can build into these folks who are training to impact their country, that's what we want to do.